So this is where we left off in the last part. We created a check user exist method for us to check if the user exists in the database or not. Now this is exactly where we left off. If I sign in, check this email and the password and hit the login button. Now it will show us the toast that we have created over here if the user doesn't exist in the database. But what happens after I close the app and I run the app again, you may see that we have logged into the account and our main activity is over here. But as you can see, the user still doesn't exist in the database. Now, if you have posted and if you want to show the display name, that's not going to work. So what is the solution for this? There's actually pretty simple solution. We won't let the user access the home page until he has set up the account. Now there is one little problem here, and that's if the user actually opens the main activity, if this connection is slow, it may take a while to check if the user exists here or not in the main activity. So that may also cause a problem. So user will actually be able to access this till the time his internet connection works and checks if it exists in the database. So that's the first rule that I'm gonna say, that you need to make sure if you want to create a better app, better user experience. So for that, there is really good solution that Firebase provides us, and you guys already know that. The solution is offline capabilities. So once user clicks on the login button on the login activity, I'm gonna go down here. If user clicks over here, what it should do, it should sync the data and store it locally in the app. Now when the user closes the app and runs the app again, it's gonna check in even in the offline library, database of Firebase, and if they haven't set up the account, the setup account page should pop up. So that's pretty simple to do it. Now one thing that I want to do before proceeding, I want to add a progress bar, because that's really what we need. So progress, and come down here, new progress dialog. All right, so when we want to show the progress dialog is actually when user clicks on the button and it checks if the email and password is empty or not. All right, so set message checking login, and then mprogress dot show. All right, and when it should hide is check user exist, mprogress dot dismiss, and also when it displays the toast. All right, so this is one thing that I wanted to do. Another thing is I'm going to change the name of our database reference, because here we are referencing to the user's child, and in the main activity, if you guys remember from the previous parts, we actually created database reference with the same name that actually was redirecting to the blog child. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure that these both have different names so it won't get confusing for the later parts. So database users for this one, and I'm going to copy this and paste it all the places that this is used. All right, this is a good thing. Now next thing, if you guys may remember, in our application class we set the Firebase database get instance set persistence enabled to true. Now what actually this does is it enables the offline capabilities of Firebase. Now if I come down to my login activity, what I'm going to do, database users dot keep synced, and I'm going to set it to true. Now this will make sure that it stores the data offline as well. Now the next good thing about the Firebase is you don't need to actually get the variables from this page to the main activity, because the way Firebase works is actually it actually remembers the path that you are storing offline. So even if you create a new variable over here, as long as the path is same, both's gonna work pretty same. So what I'm gonna do inside our main activity, create private Firebase auth sorry, that's not the auth, this is another database reference, database users. All right, so I'm going to copy this, and where we here Firebase database dot get instance get reference child users. All right, so what I'm going to do is database users dot keep synced true. All right, so there we go. Now the last thing that I want to do is this is actually not a good idea to copy a method and you create it twice in different files, but to save time for this tutorial, I'm going to do it anyway, and we're going to take care of this thing while we will be enhancing the app. All right, so I'm going to change it to main activity, and actually we don't want to redirect user if the child exists. What we want to do is if the child doesn't exist, so I'm gonna remove that, and instead of sending it to login activity, we are gonna send it to some other page, and the page is going to be account setup. So I'm gonna create a new activity. So go to activity, empty activity, and here I'm gonna say setup activity. So now the new activity is created, and inside this activity what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just for right now I'll be adding a text. So let it finish the rendering. Okay, so till then the main announcement that I wanted to, okay, let me just close these tabs to tell you guys is if you go to the website TVX Studio that we recently launched, under the 60-page app pages section, click on the screenshot download link, and this will open up the Behance link. You can check out the screenshot of every page that I have included. Go down at the bottom of the page, there is the button download now free. Okay, so this is actually not a link. I'll fix that, don't worry about that. You just click on that and it will open up the link of Gumroad, and inside here name of fair price, just enter 0 and click on I want this, and there you go, you'll get all the pages for free. Pretty good. So let me just go, this is the page is created. I'm going to add a plain text just for right now, we will be changing it later, so I'm going to call it setup page. So inside our login activity, there it is, we were showing the error to user. Instead of that error, what we are going to do, we're going to send the user to the setup page. So here instead main intent, I'm going to type setup intent, copy this, and instead of main activity, this is going to be setup activity. Same in the main activity. What we want to do, let me just change it to setup intent, and from here to setup activity. Now I'm going to run the app. So this is performing full build and install, and there it is, the free one. So what I really like is the blog part. I wish we could implement this one, but I have actually designed something else for our app that we're going to use really soon, so don't worry about that. And 0 errors, let it run. So articles coming soon, don't worry about that either. App is running now. Yep. So I'm going to type in my name, password, hit the login button, so checking login, and there we go, a 2 account setup because the user doesn't exist. So I'm going to close the app. Let's go and run the app again before loading the main activity. Oops, there we go, we got the error. Let me just quickly check what we missed. Okay, so we forgot to run the method in our on start method. Now that's the thing that you don't want to forget. run the app again, and this time we are already logged in, so we will be redirecting to main activity, and the main activity is gonna throw us to the setup activity. So launching the app, and bam, there we go. So now we can't access the main activity without setting up the account and without adding our details over here. So that's it for this part, and we're gonna move to the setup activity and adding design to our login and register activity in the next part. See you guys later.